All right. Once again, thank you very much. Hello, Greg. Welcome to the 80-60 rule. I'm Mark. I'm 60, and it just so
And I'm
happens
Greg, and I'm 80.
that he's 80. Yes, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. Remember, in case we forget, because we always forget, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. All right, and like it. All right, even if you don't like it anyway. It'll make us feel better. But Greg, before we get going today, I know there's something on your mind, and it's basically on everybody's mind too. So I'd like to hear your comments.
I just like to express our sympathy, my family's sympathy for the children in Texas. I don't know where it's going. It can happen anytime. You never know who's mentally got mental problems, et cetera, whatever, with the family, with the government, or whatever. It could be done. I don't know where we're going, but my heart goes out. It is and to the family of these kids.
Yeah, it's been a rough few days, obviously, to even be informed about the news. Which that's you and I. We both, we joke about it and everything, but we both like to be informed. We both like to pay attention to what's going on in the world, and every once in a while, unfortunately, more often than we'd care to acknowledge, something happens that really sets you reeling, and it really kind of questions just everything. And in this case, it's you don't even want to have a good day, because you know that there's some parents in Texas who are never going to have good days, or at least not for a long time. And it's a tough thing. I know you said it can happen anywhere. I'd like to think we get to a point where it can't happen anywhere. Especially a school. It'd be great if it couldn't happen at a school. Everybody's got their own view on gun rights and all this, but it's just a tough thing to watch. And my view, to be perfectly honest with you, is that those types of guns should not be in the hands of anybody, let alone somebody who might be mad at their grandmother for some reason, which it looks like this was the case here. So that being said, I know that it's been a tough week for everybody.
Yeah, just people from Sandy Hook still there, and I don't know where we're going. I really don't.
Yeah. I did see, and I'll say this: I did see, I don't know if you saw the clip, a terrific clip by a terrific reporter. I don't know the reporter's name, but they were from Sky News, which I think is, that's Great Britain, right? Sky News, I think.
Yeah.
And did you see the one where they were questioning Senator Ted Cruz, about why does this only happen in America? Why does this only happen in America? And he didn't have an answer. He had to, somehow twist it and blame it on the media, or I know you're pushing some agenda. It's a legitimate question. Why does this only happen in America? Meaning these horrific shootings with, military grade arsenals. So I think that's a great question that should be asked of anybody who doesn't come down on the side of protecting the kids, of why does this only happen in America? Because it's hard to come up with an answer.
I know you're not saying this, but I'm not trying to give a pass to the other countries. They do other things.
No, right. But I'm talking about killing a lot of kids in the matter of a few minutes with a high automatic rifle. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, why don't we get on to
I'm used this week. Starbucks. Kudos to Starbucks. They joined McDonald's and pulling their 130 locations out of Russia. 130 locations, 2,000 employees. And what they're going to do, it's like, and again, kudos to Starbucks, they're going to pay their staff for the next 6 months.
Oh, okay. Now, is it a similar situation where, because I think last week you were talking about McDonald's. McDonald's is basically selling off their franchises to independent operators.
I Actually, I'm not, don't recall it right now, but that's, something's being done like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay, kudos for them too. I think this is the first time you've used the word kudos. On
Yeah,
the,
yeah, I don't know how I just came back. I just thought that'd be cool right now.
yeah, that was very
That's a
cool.
pretty cool word. Kudos.
Kudos is a cool word. It was right off the top of your head too.
Yeah,
Kudos,
yeah. See, I
You know,
still got something. I still got a lot of things left, right?
That's good. The kids say props. So if you would have, like, kudos is okay, that's acceptable, but if you would have said props to Starbucks, that would have been,
PROPS.
yeah, props, like
Okay.
props, like you gave your props to somebody, and that's almost played, as they say. Played is almost played. I could go down a whole list of words that that you and I are going to try to use today that are no longer cool. But anyway, props is creeping in there.
Let
But
me also say, I want to get another with Nashville. I don't know. I don't know if ever any of our subscribers have been to Nashville, but I've been there once. They had 16 million tourists last year.
6-0,
16 million tourists each year.
16.
79 new people every day become a resident.
Wow.
Uh,
Is that Nashville and the surrounding suburbs, or is it Nashville proper?
I would say Nashville prop.
Wow.
No, I would say, I don't know. I would say,
I mean, if it's the city of Nashville, well, anyway, it's a good number and everything. But if it's the city of Nashville, that's pretty cool, because the trend, of course, is to all the big cities are losing population. So yeah,
they're saying they're
Nashville.
gonna have 200,000 people in the next 5 years. They're gonna add.
Wow.
So
Yeah. When's the last time you were there?
about 15 years. 20 years.
Oh, okay. I bet if you went back, it would be a big change even in those 15 years.
Yes. I know there's a lot of, I happen to be in the food industry, and I know a lot of nice restaurants are going there.
Oh,
A lot of
good.
high profile chefs are going there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Because they see as an opportunity there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Speaking of that, if that's, I don't know if you would describe that as a boom. I'm hearing some sort of feedback. Do you hear that feedback? Or are you clear on your side?
Yes.
Okay, I hear some sort of feedback anyway.
I think that's the cheering of the subscribers.
Is that it? That's the cheering. It's the roar of the crowd.
They're giving us kudos.
If Nashville is a boom, I don't know if you would call it I guess you would call it a boom, but when you were talking about the food industry, many other cities, their downtown areas are the opposite. They're suffering because of the economic situation, the pandemic, you name it, crime. Kudos to Nashville, and hopefully other big cities can follow like that. I'm thinking of Chicago is going through a rough time right now with I don't want to just label it crime, because that's every big city. Unfortunately, Chicago kind of gets the headline each weekend, or each Monday morning. People talk about the crime in Chicago, but the same can be repeated for Detroit, New York, Miami, Dallas, Houston. It's it's an epidemic situation, and you just hope that it doesn't affect the thriving downtown areas that support the restaurants and other venues of entertainment and just our social life. How's that sound?
Sounds very good. You rehearsed this, remember?
No, I did not. That was right off the top of my kudo right there.
Yeah. How about some sports, huh?
Sure.
I got a sports question. Juan Soto, who's a star for the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
I read where he is, not he, the team is considering trading him.
Wow.
And then do you, as a GM, be a GM now? You trade him?
No.
You could get like a good person equal to him and some draft choices?
No, they traded Bryce Harper because they had Juan Soto. Now they're going to trade Juan Soto? No, you got to build your team around Juan Soto. That guy, what is he? He's like 14 years old and he's like incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like 21 or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
14 was a little over the top.
Right, there's labor laws and everything. But when he first came up, I wasn't a fan just because I'm a little old school. I thought it was a bit of a hot dog. But now I see that it's a legitimate joy for the game. His the stuff he does out there. So he's a real entertaining guy and also really, really good. I mean, they talk about 5 tool. He's got like 10 tools. That guy is fast. His arm is great. He can hit.
I agree with you. I would, it would have to take a big thing for me to do a deal on that.
Mhm.
You build it, you get a couple middle average players. Does that make sense? To come with you next year, and then you look at and you do scouting, and you'll be there. You'll be there in a couple of years. Getting rid of him.
Yeah. So
Also, it's interesting. It remind me this to say this to you. The batting averages this year is atrocious, unbelievable.
yeah, what is it? Is it the pitching good, or is the pitching that good, or is it because of the short spring training? I don't know.
People tell me, I've heard where somebody says it's the air or the ball or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, they've got the humidor for all the. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I do know it's pretty across the board, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically what's happened here is the like the average, not just batting average, but all those other stats that I'm not on top of like I used to be in terms of all these new sort of metrics that they have. But the medium for like the average now, over the last few years, especially with a year like this, is just going down like this. So now, in the next year or so, somebody who's just above average in terms of our recollection of what above average used to be is really going to be down here still, in terms of RBIs and on base and all that stuff. So I think we're going to be in a run of mediocrity when it comes to hitting, I think.
Yeah. Can I mention something which is
Hey, we could change the same name of the show from 80-60 to Run of Mediocrity. I think that would be fitting. Okay, go ahead.
Afghanistan.
Oh,
Why do I mention Afghanistan? I read this week where the Taliban has a decree for the women to have to cover themselves from top to bottom.
wow.
I'm not against anybody's religion. I understand. And if a woman, she's going to go 45 miles away from her home, she's got to be accompanied by a male relative. That is absurd.
Yeah, that's not religion. That's human rights right there. Yeah.
Whatever you might think politically of different people, one of the past presidents, he tried to do his best for the Afghan women.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I can't believe this 2022.
Right.
2022.
Right.
And we're talking about this.
Right. Yeah.
2022.
Right. Yeah. But some people, might say that 2022, and look what we're talking about in the United States of America about women. You know what I mean? I'm talking about abortion rights and the right to choose and all that. Meaning, maybe we shouldn't judge
them.
Afghanistan when we're not. But I know that's apples and oranges. But I've heard people say that about like, where are we going? We're going to be, that way. I'm there's a lot of reasons I'm glad I'm not a woman. But I can't imagine.
I think your wife would be happy with that comment.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think she would too. But anyway, what I was going to say is that when you're born into this world, so in Afghanistan, and you're born a little girl, right off the bat, they bumped you down a bunch of levels, and that's not right. So I'm with you on that. I'm with
Let's
you on that.
let me just say one thing. They had a restaurant show in Chicago, the National Restaurant Association, and there were many takeaways. But one I think our subscribers would want would be interesting to hear is they're planning. They will say in the future your food will come via robot.
You mean at the restaurant to your table?
Yes. So that's just that. Let's move on that. That's it's. I don't know where how that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean that's probably inevitable, but other things will be coming by the robot too.
Yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
I was going to say to the server, you tell the server, hey, hey server, there's a nut and bolt in my soup. Hey server, there's a screw in my soup.
Yeah.
And the robot says, oh, I'm sorry, that's mine. Sorry.
Yeah. I just like to mention a thing. I said, put some humor in here. Years ago, I belonged to a health club, and years ago, I was walking out of the health club, and I was on my way to the whirlpool. As I'm on the way to the whirlpool, I see a lady, and I make eye contact with her, and she makes contact with me. As I'm making eye contact with her, what happens? Something fell down, tissue paper, whatever, came down, and I don't know where it came from. And it was so funny because I said to her name is Nicole. I got to know her name. Her name is Nicole. And I said, I don't know where this came from. I have no idea. She says, and it was so funny. And since then, I haven't seen her, but I see her husband, Mark. And one of the things we talk about other than sports is remember what happened? So I just thought I'd bring some laughter into this.
Do we have any idea whether it came from your half of this little interaction or her half of the interaction? Do we know?
What, the tissue?
The tissue paper.
From me.
It's from you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting somewhere. We've narrowed it down.
No, I looked down, and all of a sudden I said, where did this come from?
All right.
So I just thought I won't go any further.
No further? I was going to request to see the security footage.
I think you should
leave it at that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now wait, no, I have to ask one question. Is the reason you never see her anymore because of the tissue paper?
Different times.
Just a coincidence. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was just so funny. All of a sudden, like, we make eye contact because I'm going to Europa, and she's like looking, and I look at her, I go, I don't know, you know.
Okay.
So I just thought that was fun.
Okay. Good stuff.
How about if we do the quiz? Huh?
The quiz? Yeah.
Yes. Do we do that?
Yeah. This is where we do the
New York Times quiz.
Each episode we do the New York Times quiz, and it's a quiz about the past week's
use
top headlines or not even top headlines, just headlines. All right.
Yeah. It's a good quiz. A gunman killed 19 children and 2 adults at a Texas elementary school this week. It was the deadliest U.S. school shooting in a decade. And I say decade. What do you
Decade.
say? And Senate Democrats say they would soon vote on gun control legislation. That would do what?
Oh.
And the sale of all semi-automatic guns, cap the number of guns individuals can own, expand background checks on gun purchasers, fund anti-gun units and police departments around the country.
I think it was the background checks, right?
That's correct. I don't want to get, but
yeah,
90% of the people got that right.
All right, let me just add something since you said decade. John F. Kennedy famously, he used that pronunciation when he was talking about sending somebody to the moon. He said, we're going to send somebody to the moon, and this before the decade is over. You remember? That's how he pronounced decade. All right. Question
Candidates for
number 2.
governor endorsed by Donald Trump have lost their primaries in which 3 states? Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania. I got them right, actually.
All right, Georgia.
Right?
Idaho.
Correct? Yeah, the executive was accused of groping. That's why they got rid of
I don't know the third one.
Idaho.
I said Idaho.
Georgia, Idaho, and Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska. Okay. All right.
Right?
Okay.
Next, after winning the Republican nomination for a second term on Tuesday, Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia will face which Democrat in November? Pete Nugent, John Fetterman, Josh Shapiro, Raphael Warnock, Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams.
Okay, just so you know, I don't know who Pete Nugent is, but Fetterman is the Pennsylvania. Shapiro is running for governor of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay, this is about another one about a map. We don't have that here. And President Biden unveiled a new economic alliance between the U.S. and 12 Asia Pacific nations during an overseas trip this week. What's it called?
Oh man, I don't know this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's called hold on, let me think. Hold on. It's called
Let me say them.
I can't think of. Oh, all right, go ahead.
The Countering China Asia Pacific Trade Deal, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, the Pan-Pacific Strategic Stability Dialogue, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the United States, Mexico, Canada Agreement.
No, it's the second one.
Yes, you're right.
All right.
You're right.
Good.
For 20 years of my diplomatic career, I've seen different turns of our foreign policy, but never have been so ashamed of my country as of February this year. A diplomat announced his resignation. What country was he talking about? Still China, France, Russia, and the U.S.
Well, I think it's Russia.
Right.
Yeah.
Western leaders of global food crisis this week caused by Russian blockades of wet Ukrainian export. Grain, lettuce, milk, nuts, or potatoes.
Grain.
Correct. I got that right too. Pfizer announced this week 3 doses of its COVID vaccine elicited a strong immune response in which group? Adults with diabetes, children between 6 months and 5 years old, cigarette smokers, common household pests, and those who have had COVID at least twice.
I think it's the children 0 to 5. Okay.
Right. Officials approved a deal this week to sell which team for $3 billion, the highest price ever paid for a sports franchise. Chelsea, Cleveland Browns, Melbourne Storm, New York Yankees.
Chelsea.
Correct.
All right.
85% of people got that right.
Oh, all right.
How has college undergraduate enrollment changed in the U.S. since the start of the pandemic? According to data released this week, increased by nearly 10%, no significant change, decreased by nearly 10%.
And what was the question?
How has college undergraduate enrollment changed in the U.S. since the start of the pandemic?
Oh,
According to data.
decrease.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I thought that was it, and they don't have the answer here. They don't have the answer, but I was reading New York Times today, and it gave it.
Okay.
All right. 11. The sequel to a standalone film that helped young Tom Cruise become a star was released this week. Which movie was the original?
Top Gun.
Okay, that's it. Yep.
Danger Zone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you see that Ray Liotta died?
Yes. I always liked him.
Yeah, no, it was some great.
I like him in Goodfellas.
Oh, fantastic in Goodfellas. He was good in Field of Dreams too. Yeah,
Yeah.
bunch of stuff, but I don't know how he died. I know he was on location for a movie, but
Yeah.
I do know he was doing those Chantex or whatever commercials for smoking. So I don't know if that was a smoking situation or whatever, but that's a shame because he was and it wasn't that old, 67, but yeah, he was a very good actor, very good actor.
We've
That
lost some
wrap it up?
people, huh? Yes, let's wrap it up, huh?
All right. Listen, let me tell you something. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You're one of the most engaging people I know. But are you engaged? No. Okay. All right. But anyway, very nice talking to you. Enjoy the weekend. All right.
And may I say to all our subscribers, enjoy your holiday, your weekend. Enjoy, hope there's a time for you to have a cookout and be with your friends and family. Thank you for listening to us.
Terrific sentiment. So, all right, Greg, I will talk to you later. Let me see if I can nail this. Last week I didn't nail our stop button. Let me see if I can get it this time, but I think it'll be good. So, all right, I'll talk to you later, though. Have a good week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.